Oh, they wanted the man hug on camera. Isn't that lovely? All right, folks, from Las Vegas, we're here for the title matches of the 2011 Junior Bowlers Tour Touring Players Championship. Two of the very best that we got here, both from the great state of Washington. The Pacific Northwest dominance continues. Tristan Curtis is your #2 seed. He won the semifinal match for the right to take on top seed Marshall Kent. $2,000 to the winner, $1,000 to the runner-up. So it's a $1,000 game of bowling, and Tristan continues to stay red hot on this pair as he opens up with a strike in the first frame. Two Northwesterners in the title match, a handicap, two more Northwesterners here. Not everybody across the country is going to know about Tristan, but everybody knows this young man here, Marshall Kent, last year's junior gold champion, last year's, well, pretty much everything champion, but last year's TPC runner-up, looking to avenge just about the only blip on his radar screen last summer here with the TPC title here today.
Tristan's used to winning out of state.
True enough. See Marshall going for the very direct line here on this challenging pattern, and opens up with 10 in the pit as well. You don't get to win as much as he has without being extremely versatile, and that, for a guy who likes to get in deep and wheel it, is a very direct line, and it's something that we haven't seen him play virtually all day long. I've only been able to take glimpses at the scratch division today. I was mostly over in handicap, but I didn't see that area either. We bowled on 4 different lane conditions this weekend. This either the toughest or second toughest, depending on who you'd asked. Did you catch, Evan? Did you catch that ball return, please?
Yep.
We started out the weekend on Boardwalk, moved on to a very long pattern from one of the Asian indoor games at Beaten Path this morning, and now this pattern here is from 08 Team Trials, the medium pattern. And those medium patterns sometimes can be the devilish ones, as they don't have enough length where your tug shots hold, but they do have enough length where your swung out shots don't hook back, and that's a nightmare scenario for any bowler there, because it's tough to develop area on the lane. So I kind of like the idea by Marshall here and Tristan of covering fewer boards, sort of that less is more theory. The fewer boards you cover, the fewer boards you got to figure out what they're doing. So that direct line might pay dividends here for both of them in the title match. We'll see what happens.
Wouldn't it be great to see another match like up in Pac Northwest earlier?
Yes, these guys have butted heads in our Pac Northwest conference. Had some great matches in the invitationals and prior to that. Tristan, a 3-time JBT champ, Kent with 10 wins, second to Cameron Weir in our all-time Pac Northwest list. But of course had that dream summer last year, just something that I don't think we'll ever see equaled again, though Hattori came pretty darn close this summer too. Doing some special things out here in JBT land. That ball got started a little left and never recovered at all, and washes out. Using the ball with a little bit of surface, and you know, back in the day when you sanded a ball, it hooked more, and that's not necessarily true with modern reactive stuff. Sometimes you add surface to tame the back end reaction, not to make it hook more, and I think that's what is going on with that ball, and that combined with ball speed, combined with a little bit of a bad direction left, resulting in that washout, which is no longer standing as he goes down there and destroys the washout. Perfect execution on that, keeps him clean and keeps him even in the match. Tristan, as Evan said, I don't know if you heard it before, has done a lot of his better bowling out of state. He has won in Kingman in Arizona, and he's won in San Bernardino, California for 2 of his 3 career JBT titles. Finally won his first title in the Northwest this season, so done a lot of traveling. What's that? A couple years ago. Just go with the camera. Double dribbles that one. Oh, I thought he was going to break up the split, but doesn't. He's the old 6-7. Tristan rocking the lime green on orange on plaid color scheme. I think he just, I think he blinded his opponents into the title match. That's quite how that happens.
What's that?
What?
Blinded.
The lime green on orange on plaid color scheme. Makeable spare for a bowler of his talent here. I think he's going to give it at least a run. Right idea, kind of do that sort of half effort at it. You don't want to drop the pin account, you want to give yourself a chance, but either way, it's a 12-pin deficit early. Tristan qualified third after the 10-game qualifier yesterday. Fell down to 4th place for the 10-game semifinals. Crawled back up to 3rd here for the stepladder finals, and here he is bowling for the title. So, been at or near the top all weekend long. Nice shot. He wanted that 7-pin to carry on the light hit. It doesn't. There are no easy spares on the lane when you're bowling for $1,000 on a tough pattern, so gotta make sure to maintain your focus and not give away anything more to a bowler of Marshall's talent. Nicely done. Tell that 7-pin. So Kempek up here with that 12-pin lead that he gained on the bench. Marshall, well, what are some adjectives for what he did to this tournament? Dominated, destroyed, manhandled, squashed, mangled. Oh, you're going to write a blog, Cameron. You need to come up with some adjectives here. Lapped the field, whatever you want to call it here. Plus 330 after 10 was in the lead by well over 100 pins. Nobody else was close to that. That's vaporized. Thank you. Continue. Just whenever it comes to you, just chime right in. 10 in the pit. And went from plus 330 after 10 to plus 538 after 15. And actually started to lose some of that lead on the 4th pattern here, which is the one we're still bowling on, but not quite enough to get caught. So he went from 1st to 1st to 1st. That is impressive to say the least against a field of this talent. He did indeed. So he washed out on the left-hand lane here in the first frame. I think that was more bad execution than not having the right look on the lane. Let's see what happens here. That's much better. Much better shot. Same sort of 7-pin that Tristan left. Yeah, it was just bad execution on the second. Let his shoulders open up a little bit. That nice and square to the line. That'll carry most of the time right there. Marshall repeated making Team USA over the summer here, finishing in the top 4 in Junior Gold again. Zakatori also making Team USA. Jacob Buttriff, who finished 3rd, also finished in the top 16, as did Wesley Lowe. They're just people with JBT experience just doing things left and right. And I know we're not the only reason that these guys are succeeding, but toot our own program's horn a little bit. I think it has quite a bit to do with it. These guys bowl on sport conditions more than half the time. We bowl on varying lane conditions all season long, some house, some sport, some in between. We've increased the percentage of non-house shots every season, and we'll continue to do that, and that gets you your physical game tough, and then you bowl 50 tournaments a year and you get mentally tough, and you put it all together against folks that might not have it in their geographical area, and those are the kind of results that you can see when you put our guys up against the best that the nation has to offer. So, having said all that, Tristan only got half the pins down on his next ball. And the ugly Greek church, double ugly because it's on a spare here. Triple ugly because I think Tristan's going to think himself into trying to go for it here. And sometimes when you go for a Greek church, you end up with 5-1. Yeah, anything but 5-3, which should be the gimme here. It's the problem with this stinking church because it's pretty easy to get at least 5-4 as well. We'll see what he does. I think that's exactly the right play, as frustrating as that is. 51 through 4 means it's a 29-pin deficit early to a man you don't even want to have a 1-pin deficit against. As good as he is, sort of the dark horse here in the field, either him or Jacob. Really, as Jacob has yet to win a JBT title, but has done some pretty amazing things. He was the Mojave Rookie of the Year. Again, made top 16 in gold, made the title match of the Invitational, and was a runner-up at our overnighter tournament. All of those tournaments using brutal lane conditions, so expect big things from him. That ball was left all the way. That ball was laid down on 18 and hit 18, and hit the pins at 18. So he just got a good break. Yep. Looks like the left plane is going to prove to be pivotal in this match so far, as neither one has looked comfortable on it. course, Tristan doesn't even look comfortable walking up and down the concourse, as you saw in the last video. No problem at all, the 6-pin though. Want to see who wins this match? Watch part 2.